Hello, friends. Welcome to the Force Within You YouTube channel. Today's book is about cleansing your mind and transforming your life. Imagine for a moment that you walk into a room that has not been cleaned for months. Dust sits thick on every surface. Old objects are piled up in corners. Unnecessary things lie scattered everywhere, and the air feels heavy and suffocating. Staying in that room becomes uncomfortable, almost difficult, because the atmosphere itself drains you. Now imagine that one day you decide to clean that room properly. You start removing all the unnecessary junk, wiping away every layer of dust, washing the space thoroughly, and finally opening the windows so fresh air can flow in freely. Slowly, that same room which once felt suffocating now begins to feel peaceful. It becomes refreshing, bright, light, and calming. Being in that room suddenly feels good. Our mind works exactly like that room. With time, our mind also collects layers of dirt, not physical dirt, but emotional and psychological dirt. It fills up with negative thoughts, old fears, constant worries, unresolved memories, comparisons, emotional baggage, regrets, and mental noise that we never deal with. Slowly, without noticing, all this mental clutter reduces our ability to think clearly, understand deeply, feel joyfully, and live peacefully. That is why mental detox becomes necessary. The book Detox Your Mind explains that just like a room gathers dust naturally if left unattended, our mind also gathers negativity naturally if we do not actively clean it. Whether it is the pain of the past, the anxiety of the future, the pressure of expectations, or the weight of unexpressed emotions, everything keeps accumulating inside us. Our thoughts, emotions, and experiences shape the direction of our entire life. And when our thoughts become tangled and chaotic, our whole life begins to reflect that confusion. The book's first lesson teaches a powerful truth. Your inner world creates your outer world. Whatever is happening inside you, peace or chaos, clarity or confusion, confidence or fear, will eventually shape your decisions, your behavior, your reactions, and therefore your entire life. As long as there is unrest inside, there will be unrest outside. As long as your mind is filled with clutter, you cannot experience peace in your daily life. That is why the very first step toward transformation is not fixing the outside world, but cleaning the world inside, your thoughts. Now, the important question arises: how do we clean the mind? How do we begin? The book says the answer is self-observation, understanding ourselves, looking within, turning our attention inward instead of constantly looking outward. Most people live their entire lives without truly noticing what goes on in their own minds. They know the outside world clearly, what others said, what others think, what others expect, but they rarely look at their own inner patterns. But when we begin to observe our thoughts, we slowly start noticing what thoughts are hurting us, what thoughts are unnecessary, and what thoughts repeatedly pull us down. For example, someone may say something small to you. Maybe they forgot to appreciate your work. Immediately, you feel bad. But the truth is, the hurt didn't come from the person, it came from your expectation. The pain was generated inside you, not outside. The event didn't hurt you. Your meaning, interpretation, and expectation did. This is why the book teaches us to detox our expectations, detox our mental patterns, and detox the lens through which we look at the world. According to the book, the average human mind produces nearly 60,000 thoughts every single day. Most of these thoughts are not new. They are repetitive, recycled from old experiences, based on worries, fears, and insecurities. If we do not consciously filter them, these thoughts become patterns. Patterns become beliefs. Beliefs become habits, and habits shape our life.
So, the author says, start observing your thoughts, identify them, see which ones are negative, and slowly begin the process of letting them go. After thought observation, the book moves toward one of the most powerful methods of mental cleansing, meditation. Meditation is described as the deepest, most transformative detox for the mind. It gives us a chance to pause, to step back from the constant noise inside our head, and to reconnect with ourselves. When we sit quietly with ourselves, even for a few minutes, the inner chaos becomes noticeable. In the beginning, meditation feels difficult because our mind is habitual to thinking, habitual to running, habitual to noise. But with consistent practice, meditation slowly calms the internal storm. The book makes an important point. Meditation is not just a practice, it is a lifestyle. When you meditate daily, unnecessary thoughts begin to fade away. Clarity develops. Your ability to make decisions improve. You begin to understand situations better, and most importantly, you begin to understand yourself better. You start feeling grounded, peaceful, centered, and more in control of your inner world. Through self-observation and meditation, we take the first major step toward cleansing the mind, noticing the clutter. And once we notice the clutter, the real cleaning begins.
After understanding the importance of meditation and thought awareness, the book takes us into one of the most critical areas of mental purification, the removal of mental toxins. The author explains that just as physical toxins weaken the body, emotional and psychological toxins weaken the mind. When harmful emotions like fear, jealousy, anger, guilt, resentment, and irritation accumulate inside us, we begin to suffer silently. These hidden toxins disturb our peace, disturb our relationships, disturb our sleep, and eventually begin affecting our confidence and decision-making. Mental toxins do not appear suddenly, they build gradually. And often, we don't even realize that they are forming. The book explains several common sources from which these toxins arise. The first and most common source is comparison. The moment we compare ourselves with someone else, their success, their appearance, their lifestyle, their opportunities, dissatisfaction begins to form. Another major source is self-criticism, repeating our mistakes in our mind again and again, punishing ourselves mentally for things that happened long ago. Then comes attachment to the past, the inability to move beyond old wounds or failures. We hold on to what someone said, what someone did, or what someone didn't do, and that emotional knot keeps growing inside us. The next source is fear of the future, constantly worrying about what could go wrong, imagining negative possibilities, and living in anxiety even when nothing bad has happened. When these toxins remain inside for too long, they begin to influence our entire personality. Slowly, we start becoming irritated, impatient, frustrated, and restless. Even small issues feel big. Even simple discussions turn into conflicts. Even normal days begin to feel heavy. So the book introduces the simplest yet most powerful medicine for mental toxins: forgiveness. Forgiveness doesn't mean the other person was right. Forgiveness means you choose peace over poison. When you forgive someone, you release yourself from a heavy inner burden. The person may not change, the event may not change, but your mind becomes free from the emotional chain that was pulling you back. The author says that forgiveness is not for others, it is for your own healing. Equally important, and often even more difficult, is forgiving yourself. Every human makes mistakes. Every human says things they regret. Every human goes through moments they wish they could undo. But repeatedly punishing yourself for those moments becomes the biggest mental toxin of all. The book teaches that you must learn to speak to yourself with compassion.
Instead of being your own enemy, become your own friend. Instead of judging yourself harshly, encourage yourself gently. Your inner voice should not crush you, it should support you. After understanding forgiveness, the book highlights a transformative truth. The way your day begins decides how your entire day will unfold. If the first thing you do in the morning is look at negative news, stressful messages, or overwhelming notifications, your mind instantly enters a state of tension. The day becomes heavy even before it starts. But if you begin your morning consciously by taking a few deep breaths, sitting silently, expressing gratitude, or reading something positive, your mind receives a different kind of energy. This energy shapes your mood, your decisions, your focus, and your behavior throughout the day. The author calls this practice the morning detox ritual. Even 10 minutes of inner silence can shift your entire day. Those 10 minutes act like a mental shower. Next, the book discusses another major contributor to mental pollution: social media and constant external information. We live in a time when information never stops. Every moment something new is happening: news, opinions, reactions, arguments, trends, viral posts and videos. Even when we are not actively looking for it, information keeps attacking our mind. Without realizing, our brain becomes overloaded. It becomes restless, it loses clarity, it becomes confused between what is important and what is irrelevant. The author explains that just as eating continuously tires the stomach, consuming information continuously tires the mind. When the brain keeps processing without pause, peace becomes impossible. That is why the book strongly recommends digital detox, consciously stepping away from screens. At least for a few hours every week, or ideally one whole day, we should stay away from social media, TV, and excessive online content. During this time, we must allow the mind to breathe, to decompress, to return to its natural rhythm. This break restores mental energy and reduces internal noise. The book suggests spending that digital free time with yourself, walking in nature, sitting alone, journaling, meditating, reading something uplifting, or simply observing your thoughts. This self-connection is one of the deepest forms of mental rest. Now that we understand why cleansing the mind is necessary and how meditation, forgiveness, and digital detox help, the book moves into an even deeper layer: re-evaluating life priorities. Many people today are extremely busy, running from one task to another, yet they feel empty inside. Their busyness gives them stress, not satisfaction. The reason is simple: they are busy doing everything except the things that matter to their heart. Some people pursue careers that do not fulfill them. Some chase achievements they don't truly care about. Some live according to expectations instead of desires. In that process, they lose themselves. The book says that if your daily actions do not reflect your inner truth, your mind will always feel drained. This is why mental exhaustion keeps increasing even when you get more money, more activities, more commitments. So the author encourages readers to pause, to ask themselves honestly, why am I doing what I am doing? Is this my dream or someone else's? Is this bringing me peace or pressure? Is this aligning with my soul or just my obligations? These questions help us rediscover our identity. They redirect our mental energy towards things that fulfill us. They help us simplify our lives and release the burden of unnecessary obligations. When you realign your priorities, the process of mental detox becomes more powerful, because now you are not just cleaning your thoughts, you are cleaning your life.
After understanding priorities and the need to reconnect with one's true path, the book moves into another powerful aspect of mental detox: the ability to say no. Most people struggle with this simple word. They agree to every request, every task, every demand, just to avoid upsetting others, just to appear polite, or just to maintain social acceptance. But behind this constant yes lies a growing internal burden. When we say yes to everything outside, we silently say no to ourselves. We sacrifice our time, our mental peace, and our inner clarity. The author explains that every yes we give carries a cost. It consumes our attention, our energy, and our emotional space. And when we overload ourselves with responsibilities that do not align with our priorities, our mind becomes even more cluttered. We begin to feel suffocated because we are no longer living our own life. We are living according to the demands of others. Learning to say no is not an act of ego, it is an act of self-respect. It means you honor your mental and emotional boundaries. It means you protect your mind from unnecessary chaos. To make this easier, the book introduces an important practice: thought journaling. Thought journaling is like giving your mind an outlet, a safe space to express everything that it is carrying. Every morning or night, you take a few minutes to write whatever is on your mind: worries, thoughts, frustrations, goals, desires, confusions, questions. Putting these thoughts on paper becomes a form of mental cleansing. It creates distance between yourself and your thoughts. What once felt overwhelming now appears manageable when written down. You understand your emotions better. You understand your triggers better. You understand your patterns better. Thought journaling becomes a mirror for the mind. It helps thoughts flow out instead of piling up inside. After this, the book brings our attention to one of the most transformative emotional tools: gratitude. Gratitude is not just a polite habit, it is a mental and emotional detox. It rewires the mind. The author explains that when we consciously practice gratitude, our mind begins to shift from scarcity to abundance. Instead of focusing on what is missing, we begin noticing what is present. Instead of obsessing over problems, we begin appreciating blessings. Gratitude softens the heart. It brings light into dark spaces. It melts negativity. When you ask your mind daily, "What am I thankful for?" your mind automatically searches for positivity. Slowly, positivity becomes your natural mental habit. The book encourages writing down 3 things every morning that you are grateful for, no matter how small. It could be your breath, your health, your home, your talent, a loved one, a lesson learned, or even a peaceful moment. This simple practice directs your thoughts towards light instead of darkness, hope instead of stress, clarity instead of confusion. But the book does not stop at gratitude. It goes deeper into emotional healing. It introduces us to a powerful truth. Inside every human, there are emotions that have never been expressed. We carry hurt that we never acknowledged, shame that we never spoke about, anger that we never released, sadness that we never allowed ourselves to feel. These emotions do not disappear. They settle inside us like heavy stones. They influence our reactions, our relationships, our confidence, and our mental peace. This is why the book emphasizes emotional acceptance. Emotional acceptance does not mean you explode with anger or collapse in sadness in front of everyone. It does not mean creating drama. It means sitting quietly with yourself and allowing yourself to feel your emotions honestly. It means admitting, "Yes, I am hurt," or "Yes, I am scared," or "Yes, this affected me." This is the beginning of emotional release. Suppressing emotions is like pressing a spring downward. The more you suppress, the harder it rebounds. The author introduces a deep, compassionate method called emotional release practice. It works like this. Find a quiet place. Sit peacefully and close your eyes. Take slow, deep breaths.
Become aware of the emotion rising inside you. Imagine that emotion as a small child within you, scared, confused, or hurt. Speak to that emotion with gentleness. Tell it, you are safe now. You are free. You can let go. This method allows emotions to soften and dissolve. It brings relief. It creates space. It clears emotional weight that may have been carried for years. Then the book explains that the process of true mental detox also requires continuous self-growth. Just like stale water becomes dirty, a stagnant mind becomes polluted. When you stop growing, stop learning, stop evolving, your inner world becomes dull and heavy. But when you challenge your limits, when you choose growth, when you face your weaknesses with honesty, a powerful inner energy awakens. This energy is transformative. It cleans the mind from within. It builds inner strength. It turns confusion into clarity. The author emphasizes that mental detox is not a one-time activity. It is not a weekend ritual. It is a daily discipline. Just as we bathe our body every day, we must also cleanse our mind every day. Through small habits of self-reflection, self-kindness, self-awareness, and self-improvement, we keep our inner world fresh, light, and alive. After this, the book takes us to one of its most important teachings, acceptance. Acceptance is not weakness. Acceptance is wisdom. Acceptance is freedom. The author explains that half of our suffering comes not from situations, but from our resistance to situations. We want people to behave the way we imagine. We want life to follow our plans. We want events to move according to our expectations. But life does not function according to our script. When reality does not match our desires, we feel frustrated. Acceptance means you stop fighting against what already is. It means you look at situations calmly, not with resistance, but with understanding. When you accept life as it is, you free yourself from unnecessary emotional struggle. Instead of saying, "Why did this happen?" you begin asking, "What can I learn from this?" With acceptance, the mind becomes lighter, solutions become visible, healing becomes possible. The book repeatedly reminds us that peace is not something we find outside, it is something we awaken inside. You cannot buy it, you cannot borrow it, and you cannot demand it from others. Peace comes from your inner clarity, inner acceptance, and inner balance. And that is the real foundation of mental detox. Connecting with yourself, cleansing yourself, forgiving yourself, and accepting yourself every single day.
Now that the book has guided us through the cleansing of thoughts, emotions, habits, and inner patterns, it takes us into one of the most influential parts of mental detox, the impact of the people around us. The author emphasizes a truth that we often ignore. Your environment shapes your energy, and your company shapes your mind. If you spend time with people who complain constantly, who always think negatively, who criticize your dreams, or who fill conversations with fear, gossip, anger, or bitterness, then their mental patterns slowly begin affecting your own. Even if you try to stay positive, their energy eventually pulls you downward. Their thoughts become your thoughts. Their fears become your fears. Their negativity becomes your burden. This is why the author stresses the importance of evaluating your relationships and social circle. He calls it social detox, cleansing the people space around you. Social detox does not mean that you judge others or hate them or cut everyone out of your life. It simply means recognizing which relationships nourish your mind and which relationships drain it. It means understanding who brings clarity into your life and who brings confusion. You must protect your mental space the same way you protect your home. You would never allow garbage to enter your clean home, so why allow emotional garbage to enter your mind?
The author explains that healthy company is one of the strongest pillars of mental healing. You need people around you who encourage growth, who believe in possibility, who inspire you to rise, who support your dreams, and who genuinely listen. These people do not drain your energy, they enrich it. They do not judge your silence, they understand it. With such people, even moments of quietness feel peaceful. The book introduces a powerful concept called mindful relationships. This means bringing awareness, presence, and sensitivity into all your interactions. Mindful relationships require you to listen with patience, not with interruption. Respond with understanding, not with reaction. Think before speaking. Feel before judging. Connect with presence, not with pressure. When you practice mindful relationships, your conversations become lighter, your connections become deeper, and your emotional wounds begin healing. It detoxifies not only your relationships, but also your inner world. After exploring social detox, the book takes us to one of its most profound lessons: the beauty of simplicity. In today's world, life is becoming more complex every day. People want more money, more belongings, more status, more validation, more recognition, more comparison, more consumption. But in the pursuit of more, they lose touch with themselves. They lose clarity. They lose peace. The author explains that true mental cleansing begins when life becomes simple. Simplicity does not mean poverty. Simplicity means clarity. It means reducing unnecessary weight. It means choosing peace over excess. When you simplify your surroundings, your mind also becomes clearer. When you stop competing with the world, you reconnect with your inner self. When you stop chasing unnecessary desires, you save mental energy. When you let go of things you don't need, space appears, both outside and inside. The book encourages you to examine every area of your life and ask, is this truly necessary? Does this add value to my life? Does this habit, item, or relationship bring me joy or burden? Anything that does not add value becomes a mental weight. It must be released. This is what the author calls psychological minimalism, simplifying the mind by simplifying life. Removing emotional clutter, letting go of excess possessions, reducing digital noise, reducing unnecessary tasks, and letting go of relationships that only bring heaviness. The goal is not to empty life, but to remove what blocks your peace. Then the book presents a practice called silence practice, an extremely powerful method of inner detox. Silence is not empty, silence is healing. Silence is not the absence of sound, it is the presence of your true self. The author suggests spending a small amount of time every day in complete silence. No mobile, no music, no talking, no distractions, just you and your breath. At first, this silence feels uncomfortable because your mind is used to constant stimulation. Thoughts race, restlessness appears, the mind tries to fill the silence with noise. But slowly, with regular practice, something magical begins to happen. The noise inside starts settling. Your breath becomes rhythmic. Your mind becomes still. Your heart becomes calm. A deep, soothing quietness begins to spread inside you. This is when real detox happens. In silence, problems that once felt huge become manageable. In silence, confusion transforms into clarity. In silence, the heart speaks. In silence, healing begins. The author then guides us toward another powerful practice, refreshing the mind with new thinking every single day. He explains that we often wake up carrying yesterday's thoughts, fears, worries, and patterns. But each morning is a fresh beginning. Every sunrise brings a chance to choose a new way of thinking. The book introduces a method called daily refresh practice. It consists of answering 3 questions every morning. What thought do I want to change today? This could be self-doubt, fear, overthinking, comparison, negativity, or any belief that limits your potential. Which single habit do I want to release today? Maybe it is procrastination, anger, screen addiction, gossip, or emotional suppression. What am I forgiving myself for today? This creates emotional freedom and softens self-judgment. Writing these answers daily cleans the mind of old patterns and prepares it for growth. It makes each morning feel like a fresh start, like beginning a new life every day. This is the true magic of mental detox. The book beautifully states that transformation does not come from big occasional changes, it comes from small, consistent practices. Just as the body stays clean through daily bathing, the mind stays pure through daily reflection, gratitude, silence, forgiveness, and awareness. Mental detox becomes a lifestyle, a gentle, daily journey towards inner peace.
After guiding us through the emotional, mental, and social aspects of detox, the book takes us into the final and most practical layer: daily habits that transform mental cleansing from an occasional activity into a lifelong lifestyle. The author says that if you truly want mental clarity, inner peace, and emotional balance, you must take care of your mind every single day, just like you take care of your body. The first habit the book emphasizes is starting your morning with yourself. Most people begin their mornings by looking at their phone, checking messages, notifications, news, social media, or someone else's opinions. The mind, which should have begun the day fresh and calm, is instantly filled with pressure, comparison, noise, and stimulation. The author explains that your morning is like the foundation of your day. If the foundation is weak, the entire day becomes unstable. So the book suggests that the first few minutes after waking should be dedicated to yourself. Not the world, not technology, not other people. Sit in a quiet corner, breathe slowly, and think about 3 things. What is my intention for today? This gives your mind a direction instead of running randomly. Which emotion do I want to stay away from today? Maybe you want to stay away from anger, fear, jealousy, or overthinking. How will I keep my mind light today? This could be through silence, breaks, meditation, gratitude, or mindful boundaries. The clarity created by these few minutes shapes the entire day. It protects your mind from unnecessary chaos and helps you stay centered even in stressful situations. The second daily habit is directing your thoughts consciously. Thoughts do not come under control by themselves. The mind constantly produces random thoughts, many useless, many negative. But if you intentionally guide your thoughts every morning, your mind slowly learns to follow your instructions. You become the master, not the slave. The book advises choosing 5 positive, strengthening thoughts every morning. Thoughts like, I am calm, I am capable, I am grounded, I will handle today with clarity, I choose peace over chaos. These thoughts act like mental anchors. They stay with you throughout the day. When challenges arise, these thoughts protect you. When negativity emerges, these thoughts lift you. When your mind gets scattered, these thoughts center you. The third daily habit is something the author calls keeping an emotional account. Just as we track our financial spending, we must also track our emotional spending. Every evening, take a few minutes and reflect on the emotions you experienced throughout the day. Ask yourself, which emotions gave me energy? Which emotions drained me? Which emotion dominated my day? Joy, fear, anger, worry, sadness, or gratitude? Why did I feel this emotion?
Did someone else trigger it, or did it rise from my own thoughts? This emotional accounting increases self-awareness. You begin to notice emotional patterns. You begin to understand what affects your inner peace. You begin to realize which situations, habits, or people raise your energy and which ones lower it. With time, this awareness becomes emotional intelligence. The fourth daily habit the book teaches is about balanced relationships. Mental detox does not mean cutting off from the world. It does not mean isolating yourself or building walls around your heart. Instead, it means creating healthy emotional boundaries. You must stay connected with the world, but not consumed by it. The author says that relationships, whether personal, professional, or digital, should be designed with balance. When you feel overwhelmed, when someone's words begin pulling you down, when a situation starts dominating your peace, you must pause and ask, is this necessary? Is this helpful for my mind? Is this worth my inner peace? If the answer is no, you should quietly step back. Protecting your mind is not selfish, it is essential for your overall well-being. The fifth daily habit is letting go before sleep. The mind collects hundreds of thoughts, emotions, interactions, and impressions throughout the day. If these are not released, they accumulate inside and disturb your sleep. You go to bed tired and you wake up tired. The book teaches a simple yet powerful practice for emotional release. Every night, take a piece of paper and write down anything that troubled you that day. Someone's words, a regret, a fear, an argument, a failure, a worry. After writing it, say aloud, I release this today. It belongs to this day, not to my mind. Then tear the paper or put it aside. This symbolic act signals to the subconscious that it can let go. Your mind becomes quiet. Your heart becomes light. Your sleep becomes peaceful. The book then explains a deep principle. Mental cleansing is not a one-day process. It is a daily ritual. Just as the body is washed with water, the mind is washed with practices like meditation, reflection, journaling, silence, gratitude, and forgiveness. Each practice becomes like an ingredient in the recipe of inner peace. As the book approaches its concluding lessons, the author introduces one final and extremely powerful practice: mental fasting. Just as the body detoxes when we avoid heavy food, the mind detoxes when we avoid mental junk. The author recommends choosing one day a week where you consciously avoid negativity. On this day, no negative conversations, no negative news, no overthinking, no complaining, no judgment, no gossip, no social media scrolling, no emotional consumption that drains your energy. Instead, you spend the day with yourself, reflecting, breathing, reading something positive, sitting in silence, walking in nature, or simply resting mentally. This day acts like a deep mental cleanse. It resets your emotional system. It reduces internal noise. It refreshes your entire being. The book acknowledges openly that every human experiences pain, fear, stress, and confusion. But when you build a mind that is clean, calm, grounded, and aware, no challenge becomes too big. A peaceful mind interprets life differently. Problems become manageable. Obstacles become lessons. Difficult phases become growth periods. The author says that when your mind is clean, the world looks clearer. When your mind is calm, every sound feels gentle. When your mind is light, life feels beautiful. Detoxing the mind is not magic, it is a practice, a discipline that becomes a way of living. The mind is like a garden. If you water it with positivity, nourish it with awareness, protect it from negativity, and remove weeds regularly, it becomes beautiful, it becomes peaceful, it becomes strong, and it becomes the place where your dreams grow. But if you ignore it, if you allow negative thoughts to take root, if you never clean emotional clutter, if you continuously allow external noise to dominate, that garden becomes wild and chaotic. mental weeds begin taking over. The book ends with a powerful reminder. Every person has the ability to shape their mind into a space of peace, love, stability, and hope. Mental detox is not a luxury, it is a necessity, and it must be practiced every single day.
As the book comes to its final insights, the author shares one of the most profound truths about human nature. Every person carries a hidden inner world full of unspoken emotions, forgotten wounds, quiet fears, and unrealized strengths. And the purpose of mental detox is to gently reconnect you with that inner world, to clean it, heal it, and finally bring peace into it. The author explains that the journey of mental detox is not just about removing negativity. It is about rediscovering who you really are beneath all the noise, expectations, and fears. It is about peeling away layers that life has added on top of your true self. Over the years, we all collect emotional dust, from disappointments, losses, failures, rejections, misunderstandings, and betrayals. These memories often shape our identity without us realizing it. This is why the final stage of mental detox is the practice of self-acceptance. Accepting yourself exactly as you are, without judgment, without punishment, without endless comparisons. Acceptance is the foundation of healing. Without acceptance, no amount of meditation, gratitude, journaling, or silence can bring true freedom. Acceptance means acknowledging your journey, the mistakes you made, the experiences you went through, the emotions you felt, and the lessons you learned. Acceptance means looking at your inner child, the part of you that still remembers pain, and telling it, "You are safe now. I am here with you." When you accept your past instead of running from it, you free your mind from shame and regret. When you accept your weaknesses, you transform them into opportunities for growth. When you accept what life has given you, instead of wishing it was different, inner resistance begins to dissolve. The author beautifully explains that peace is not a destination, it is a practice, a habit, a daily choice. You do not suddenly become peaceful one day. You become peaceful through small actions repeated consistently, through the way you breathe, the way you think, the way you react, the way you speak, the way you treat yourself, and the way you treat others. He emphasizes that the journey of mental detox is like moving in a circle. It begins with confusion, then moves to awareness, then to cleansing, then to simplicity, then to growth, and finally returns to your center, but this time with more clarity, more strength, more softness, and more wisdom. The same life, the same situations, the same challenges appear different because you have changed from within. You have become lighter, calmer, and more grounded. The book then presents a collection of powerful daily practices, small habits that, when repeatedly consistently, can transform the entire mental landscape of a person. Thought detox. Set aside just 10 minutes every day to observe your thoughts. Write down which thoughts troubled you, which thoughts empowered you, and which thoughts repeated too often. Ask yourself if these thoughts deserve space in your mind. If they don't, let them go. This practice prevents mental clutter from building up. Emotional detox. Every evening, reflect on which emotion dominated your day. Was it joy, fear, anger, guilt, or stress? Understand why the emotion appeared. Was it someone's actions or your own expectations? Then breathe deeply and let the emotion dissolve gently. Emotional awareness creates emotional freedom. Physical cleansing leads to mental cleansing.
The author reminds us that the mind and body are deeply connected. When your body is inactive, the mind becomes sluggish. When your body is tense, the mind becomes irritated. Simple physical actions like stretching, exercise, walking, drinking water, or maintaining posture help refresh the mind. Digital detox. Since the biggest source of modern mental pollution is digital overload, the book strongly advises disconnecting regularly. Avoid unnecessary scrolling. Limit your exposure to negative news. Pause your social media usage. Take breaks from screens. Your mind needs silence, not constant stimulation. A weekly or even daily digital break restores mental purity. Meditation, the inner bath. The author describes meditation as a bath for the mind. Just as you clean your body every day, your mind also needs daily cleansing through silence. Sit in a comfortable position, close your eyes, and focus on your breathing. In the beginning, thoughts will rush, noise will increase, and restlessness will appear. But with time, the mind begins to settle, and a deep inner stillness emerges. Meditation is the heart of mental detox. Mindfulness in everyday life. Mindfulness means being fully present in whatever you do, whether eating, walking, talking, or resting. When you live mindfully, you stop dwelling on the past or worrying about the future. You begin living in the only moment that truly exists, the present. The present moment is where peace lives. Night reflection. Before sleeping, sit quietly for a few minutes. Reflect on your day. What did you do well? What can you improve? Which moments brought peace? Which moments brought stress? Night reflection brings clarity and shapes better choices the next day. After presenting all these practices, the author ends the book with a gentle yet powerful message. Be kind to yourself. When you fall, pick yourself up with compassion. When you fail, forgive yourself gently. When you feel broken, give yourself time to heal. When emotions overwhelm you, hold yourself with patience. Because if you do not support yourself, you cannot expect the world to do it for you. Self-kindness is the foundation of inner strength. The author explains that every human carries a sacred space of peace inside. But to reach that space, you must clear the dust of old wounds, heal the scars of the past, and let go of the emotional weight you have carried for years. When mental detox becomes a lifestyle, your mind becomes a beautiful garden. If you nurture it with awareness, gratitude, and silence, it remains green and alive. The flowers of joy, the fragrance of peace, and the fruits of clarity begin to bloom within you. But if you ignore the mind, weeds of negativity grow: fear, overthinking, self-doubt, comparison, and resentment. These weeds can take over your inner garden unless you regularly remove them. The book ends with one last reminder. You have the power to shape your mind. You have the power to create your peace. You have the power to heal your inner world. Mental detox is not a task, it is a journey. It is not a trick, it is a discipline. It is not an escape, it is a return to your true self. And whenever life feels heavy, whenever your mind feels full, simply close your eyes, take a deep breath, and remind yourself, I am ready to lighten my heart. I am ready to clear my mind. I am ready to live peacefully. This is the soul of Detox Your Mind.